Okay, I'm just setting up the live stream. Bear with me. Okay, let's get the airplane up and running. Just make sure the mixture levers, I've got propeller, okay. Mixture can go to rich. And we're already on both tanks. Let's go and make sure we have enough fuel to do the journey. We're going to take it out to 75%. We don't need a co-pilot. So, beacon light can go on, and the nav light can go on. So mixture's on rich, propeller's on rich, cowl flaps are open. Let's go to start the engine. Oh, let's crank the throttle open a little bit first. Make sure parking brake is on. It's on. Actually, we want to be pushed back away. Do we need to be pushed back away from the building? We can probably turn that, can't we? Yeah. So parking brake is on. And put the avionics on there. Let's run the engine up to 1000 RPM. Should we put the head tracking on so we can see around things? Just waiting for everything to warm up. So although we've got the GPS, we're just going to rely on LittleNavMap to fly along. So we're going to fly along the length of Long Island, go and have a look around Manhattan, and then go airport hopping along the coast on the way back up. It should be good fun. So Tabletop Android is asking, what is the fidelity factor with this plane? It's pretty good. It's the Carenado 182. So it's the 182 RG, retractable gear. Just waiting for the GPS to warm up. We could, I guess, because we're just going to be doing VFR anyway, we could go and switch over and use the GTN 750, couldn't we? Okay, why won't that let me switch on? Oh, here we go, activate, sorry. There we go. Because it will give a bit better map, won't it?
TOS system test OK.
So, I guess what we could do then, seeing as we've got this now, we could go and program some route into it, which will make a bit more, make it a bit more interesting. So, if we go into flight plan, we're obviously taking off from Montauc. Then we're going to KJPX. KJPX. Enter. Then we're going to 21N. then KFOK. Then 1N2. Then Brookhaven, KHWV. Long Island MacArthur, KISP. Republic, KFRG. And then Manhattan, then KHPN. Igor Sikorsky Memorial, KBDR. Or Kilo Bravo Delta Romeo. Then Tweed New Haven, Kilo Hotel Victor November. Kilo Hotel Victor November. Then Griswold N04. Interesting, it doesn't know about that one. Or maybe it's N04. If I go back into flight plan. Nope. Okay, we might not do Griswold, but we'll go Kilo Golf Oscar November for Groton, New London. Kilo Golf Oscar November. Enter. Okay. So now at least we get something on the map to look at while we're flying along. Calibrate the altimeter and calibrate gyro compasses if we need to. We shouldn't need to. We are on GPS mode on the CDI, so I'm just going to cycle that to see if it's working. Yes, it is. I guess we'll turn around before we exercise the throttle. So we get away from here. Okay, where's the windsock? Or am I going to have to resort to looking at something else? Okay, we're going to look on the chart. So 13 knots from the southwest. So we're going to taxi down to runway 24 by the look of it for takeoff. Just to make things easier, actually, before we start taxiing, I'm just going to go and jump into multiplayer and put it on East USA, so we might see some traffic along the way, which will be good fun. Resume. Stephen Kelly has appeared in the Livestream chat. So yeah, he's mentioning that he misses flying with Virtual Flight Online. I haven't flown with Virtual Flight Online for a while either, because just work and life have got in the way, so it tends to be really random when I can get into the simulator at the moment. Okay. I'm not going to bother doing a magneto test. Let's go and put the transponder on. Interesting. We have a light right in the middle of the taxiway. So yeah, apparently a couple of days ago the update for the eastern part of the US came out, a city update, and one of the big updates apparently is Long Island. So we're going to have a fly across the Hamptons, which were specifically mentioned in the update notes, and see what they look like. So I thought we'd get something that handles low and slow well, which is why we're in the 182. Hey, Peter heat on. Gear up. Wind's a bit bumpy. Okay, so this is primarily a sightseeing flight tonight. So Stephen is saying 2024 is shaping up to be an amazing simulator. You might be able to gauge the wind based on the tree movement. Yes, this is true. Or crop movement as well. Yeah, I was just talking to my other half earlier today about potentially upgrading my computer in time for November, but we'll wait and see. I have slowly been squirreling money away in anticipation of it. I'm not sure if I'll actually upgrade or just replace the entire computer and go for something that's got, you know, a matched set of pieces that are designed for the power and heat requirements of an NVIDIA 4090 basically. So this cloud is not being friendly to us, is it? But yeah, you can see they've done a number with this. Look, the photogrammetry has been done for all of the villages along Long Island by the look of it. So if we follow the beach along for the moment. I wonder if it's worth us changing the weather, because otherwise this isn't going to be much fun, is it? Let's just dip down. Get in the pilot's seat again. Yeah, let's just try the weather, putting it on a few clouds so we can see some more scenery. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that, so then we actually get to see this upgraded scenery. So we've got about 6 minutes en route for the next waypoint. It's a bit dull in the cockpit, isn't it? Should we put the interior lights on, or do you think it's okay? I don't think they're going to make a lot of difference. Make a little bit of difference, but okay, let's get the autopilot sorted out. We will be using it to make my life easier. So 1,000 feet's fine for us, so we can have a look out the window as we fly along. So we're just coming along here past, how we got East Hampton is just coming up, so we'll circle around and have a look around each place along the way. As there any features come up that are worth having a look at, and we'll do touch and goes at the airfields along the way as well. Or is that actually something modelled down there? No, it's just a chimney. So just reading what Stephen's saying on the live stream comments about possibly waiting beyond the 4090. We'll wait and see what comes out later in the year. Depends on cost as well. Yeah, you can certainly see the difference, can't you, in the modelling of the houses. So, a Maganset, I'm not sure how you pronounce some of these place names, so I'm not even going to attempt it. Let's go to the next one, which is easier to say. We're approaching East Hampton. So is this the airfield we're aiming for over here? I think it may well be. Okay, so let's go and take the autopilot off. Go and sit where we should be sitting. I thought I told, oh, this is a Coronado aeroplane, isn't it? You have to tell it in the tablet not to draw the co-pilot. There we go. So what we also should have done, it's a bit late now, but we should have closed the cowl flaps. Only really needed on the ground. So now we're a bit slicker through the air. So it's cowl flaps are really there just to allow more air to flow through the engine so it doesn't overheat when you're on the ground. Okay, so I turned the weather off, remember. We went to few clouds, which usually gives you about 3 or 4 knots of weather. So we can go straight in at each airport along the way. That said, we are going to need to manage the descent. So we will do the pattern just to give ourselves the chance to lose some speed. And have a little look at the airport. So we'll go left pattern, come in the far end for a touch and go. Some expensive houses around here, aren't there? It's the Hamptons. What do you expect? Yeah, talking about the 4090 graphics cards, there's a YouTube channel with a guy that repairs hardware, and he made mention of a video I saw where he was fixing a 4090. That they are still having problems apparently with 4090s melting their own connectors. It's one of the most common repairs that they have to do. Okay, so this is East Hampton Airport, Kilo Juliet Papa X-ray. So we're just going to swing in a moment. So flaps down, or partially down anyway, which will help us lose some more speed. Some more flaps.
$500.
Oh, it's really loud, isn't it? I'll have a look in the settings in a minute, see if I can turn down the voice on the GTN. Okay, doing another about turn. Actually, let's do this the seaward side. Although we're over a thin island, aren't we? So it's the sea both sides, really. It's just it's closer on this side. Oh, so we are actually going out across the island on the next leg to the next airfield. So we'll just straighten up. We could put the autopilot on nav mode, to be honest. So if I just trim the plane out. and we'll go for a nav mode. So it should join the GPS track. And we've got altitude 1,000 feet set up. So we should... Yeah, it's just creeping up towards it. And then it will wind out the vertical speed when we get there. So we're heading for a Montauc. So we have to go and cross the water here. So this is Little Peconic Bay. We'll be crossing in a moment. Was it Adamant IT I watched on YouTube for the repair? I'm not sure. He's an Eastern European guy. He runs his own repair shop. He often shows like soldering through magnifying glass and things like that. He's a very, very skilled guy. He's got grey hair, probably early 50s, maybe. So if we zoom in on this map, oops, didn't need to do that. You get to see a bit more detail. So I'm going to come off the autopilot. I want to have a look at this post. I'm not sure what it is, but obviously it's part of this scenery upgrade. Look at the quality of the rendering of this quarry. It's incredible. So is this just a telecommunications tower, do you think? It looks like it is, doesn't it? The photogrammetry hasn't quite caught it correctly. Yeah, it's just a pylon with loads of dishes all over it. Oh, the Eye of Sauron, as Steve Kelly's saying. Just circle it once and then we'll carry on along our way. Let's have a look. Let's carry on left. I was just trying to make sense of the GTN display to see if it tells us which direction to go. But it actually doesn't, does it? Obviously you should know what direction you're roughly going anyway. Although it seems just frozen. Give it a moment. I wonder if a new machine will stop this freezing business. It's obviously something quite low level, I think. I'm tempted to say it's to do with the game engine and the USB controller not liking each other, because I've seen it with one other game. Radio tower from Ernie, thank you. I wonder if it's marked on here as well. Oh yeah, there it is, Noyak radio tower, fantastic. Just had to zoom in far enough on the Google Maps overlay on LittleNavMap. I wonder if Navigraph has got it. So let's go and try it. So if we go Navigraph charts, and while we're waiting for that to load, file, flight plan, copy it to the clipboard, unload the previous flight plan, new flight, stick this straight in. And then put the VFR map on. We might be able to see it on the sectionals actually. So it doesn't appear on the VFR. What about the sectionals? No, they don't go low enough resolution. Or sorry, high enough resolution. So we're on our way to Montauc. This is quite cool, isn't it, having the sectionals, especially for flying in the US, so you get to see things properly. So we're cruising along, about 75% power and propeller, just over 1,200 feet, and just under 140 knots. That's pretty good going, isn't it? I'm on the East USA server, so if you did want to fly along, you're welcome to. Okay, so the runways at the next airfield, as you can see on that map. This, of course, this map won't really help us very much. We can see it easily on LittleNavMap, so they're perpendicular to us. You can see it on the GTN. Look, there's a line that's projected. I guess if we go out to the right, and then we can turn back in. Bleed some of this speed off. Another touch and go coming up. Yeah, the photogrammetry is very, very good. Let's have a look at where we are on the map. Tiny little runway, isn't it? So this time we'll turn in from the right. We'll go past it and have a look at it. Looks like some of these little ports have got really detailed scenery. So there's the runway and the trees there. So gear is down. More power needed maybe, just to clear the houses. Interesting. There's supposed to be a tent of some kind, or just a photogrammetry aberration. Keeping an eye on the indicated airspeed, keep it away from stall speed. We should be fine. Okay, so we're turning west again. Coming back up to 1,000 feet for the next leg. Okay, off we go again. So, next leg takes us down to West Hampton Beach. I'm tempted to go across here though, so let's go to heading mode on the autopilot. We'll go and set the heading first. So all these marks in the water, I'm going to have to come off autopilot. I want to go and have a look.
Pull up. 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 Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
How strange. Climbing back out to 1,000 feet and heading south again. Which Garmin 750? This is the TDS GTN 750 XI, is it called? Something like that. It's the one that's the Garmin simulator, basically. They've integrated Navigraph in it, which has changed the game with it, really. Yeah, this is much better now, isn't it, with all of the photogrammetry. You see the golf courses and all the billionaires' houses. Okay, let's zoom out slightly so we can see where we're supposed to be going. And move that heading bug back in front of us. Put the autopilot on and go to heading mode, and we're good to go. So we're running an intercept course basically to the next runway, or there or thereabouts. We need to turn a little bit more, don't we? Oops. Should we change the time of day and make it a bit prettier outside? So do we go for morning or evening? If we go for morning, go for later in the afternoon. We get the nice sunset shots of the the Cessna there. So we're passing over an airfield here that I wasn't super keen on visiting, but we're going to include it anyway. So this is Gabreski. So we need to figure out, I guess if we do a circle around the airfield, we get to look at the buildings and then we'll come back in. So Rezo is asking, is the Cessna 182 a default plane in Flight Simulator or payware? It's payware, or this version of it is. You get a 172 with Flight Simulator with the G1000 navigation suite. With the premium deluxe version of Flight Simulator, you also get a 172 Classic, which has got steam gauges. But this is made by Carenado. You can buy all of the Carenado aeroplanes in the marketplace within the simulator. They are all very, very good. The 182 is especially good because it has a nice autopilot and it has retractable gear, so it's fairly quick, or quick in Cessna terms anyway. This airport looks actually, I take it back, it's been modelled really nicely, hasn't it? don't worry about the sound. That's just me dropping the engine too much without the gear down. A hugely long runway, we'll only need about a third of it.
$500.
I really do need to remember to go look in the volumes of the GTN, see if I can turn it down a bit. Should have a quick look at this from outside. Left turn. Yeah, the 182 is a bit of an all-rounder. It's really nicely put together. You get lots of liveries, and several of the liveries have got completely different interior fascias. So they've got like old cracked leather and wood, and there's some really nice ones. So Coronado really went to town on it. It was super popular when it first came out. I'm going to put the weather back to live, you know. Oh, sorry, the time back to live. So you can see the scenery a little bit better. Somebody wants to be my friend, and unfortunately, unless I pause the simulator, I won't be able to do that right now, but I will get around to it later. Okay, so we're creeping our way back up to 1,000 feet. I'm just taken up with how good this photogrammetry is on this update. They must have had very high resolution data to do it with. So, next stop for us is Spadaro. I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it. Which is almost directly in front of us. So I'll come off autopilot and we'll figure it out as we get there. You can see it coming up on the map, 1 minute away. So we'll overfly it and then choose the direction to fly into it from. Chattanooga says good evening. So does Daryl. Daryl's come through with the history of Gabreski, Francis S. Gabreski. Okay, so we should see the next airfield in the trees in a moment. About half a mile away. Is this it here? Town over here as well. Let's have a look. Spadaro. Apparently there's a restaurant called Trumpets on the Bay over here. I wonder if they play trumpets around the restaurant, maybe. Okay, so let's have a look at this and see what direction we want to come into it from. So we're about to fly right over the top. So where is the airfield? That can't be it, can it? Oh, it was behind us. It was in the trees. Okay, let's just loop round to the left then. So there's the airfield over to our left. Descending turn. Loading for speed. Okay, first stage of flaps. It's really just an excuse to look at the ground again, isn't it? To look at these amazing buildings that have been rendered in as part of this update. So, is there actually a hard runway here as well, or is it just the grass one? Let's have a quick look at the map. So this indicates there's both. It's a really skinny, hard runway on the right, isn't there? And grass on the left. So I'm going to
500.
Side slip this a little bit to lose some speed and height. Okay, let it straighten up gently. Anybody else spotted those pylons? Okay, left turn. So, next on our list is Brookhaven. So I guess we'll circle it and have a look at it because it looks like quite an interesting one. And then come in, maybe we'll circle round and then come in for runway 33. some of these buildings? Presumably that's a building of note, otherwise they wouldn't have bothered. Okay, so it's quite a big airport, isn't it? So if we circle it and then come in, like I say, on runway 33. There's a lot of houses on this side of it. It's like sprawling suburbia, and there's an airfield right in the middle of it all. Look at this. So we'll just loop round and drop into runway 33 and then we'll get on our way again. So this airfield again was Brookhaven. Let's have a look at the... Yeah, it doesn't really show much detail on the sectionals, does it? Gear down. It's bleeding some speed off until we can get the flaps down.
$500.
So we've got Jiffy is asking which Cessna this is. It's the 182 from Coronado.
Don't sink.
You see here, look,
Don't
182
sink.
RG2.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Should we get that to shut up? If I set this to autopilot to just get us to 1,000 feet. Right, let's go and have a look in this menu. Yeah, I'm loath to have a dig around in this while we're flying. Not sure that you can just change the call out volumes. So although I'm in the 182RG, this is not the default autopilot. Obviously this is the TDS GTN 750, which is the real Garmin simulator using the data from Flight Sim. So this is a commercial unit that's integrated in. It gives you nice things like your glide distance and stuff like that, and also, you know, the projection of the airport runways automatically. So we're coming up to New York, Long Island, MacArthur, which is another big airport. And we can see the freeway. So if we scoot across slightly, look at the quality of the houses. It's brilliant, isn't it? Is this some sort of shopping outlet place? I'm sure if we got close enough we could read the logos. Okay, get out. We have no business doing a touch and go in a Cessna at this airfield, but we're going to do it anyway. Should we at least get the altitude right? Get the VASI lights lined up. So what we're looking for is one red and one white alongside the runway here. There you go. If you get two reds, you're too low. If you get two whites, you're too high. This 182 is very placid to fly. Although saying that, I haven't got any wind, have I? I've just gone with a few clouds. So. Another outlet village there. Okay. It's all very commercial down here, isn't it? Lots and lots of stores. Quite big ones. So what part are we in here? So that was Long Island, MacArthur that we're just leaving behind. Now we're going over to Farmingdale. Let's have a look on the other map. To zoom out of this. So Republic is over at Farmingdale. So it's the old Republic airfield. Just reading Crisp's comment about the cars on the highway. Yeah, absolutely true. Kundan's asking, are you using an eye tracker? Yes, I'm using a Tobii Eye Tracker. And full disclosure, Tobii gave me the eye tracker in response to me trying it out and recording some videos with it, and I've used it ever since. It's very, very good. It seems to be... around the same time I was looking at the Tobii Eye Tracker, I was also looking at various other tracking devices, but several of them require you to have a marker on a hat that it can detect, or you know, a device clipped to your headphones or whatever. The Tobii needs none of that, and it works with or without glasses. It works in the dark. It works in bright sunshine. It just works. So yeah, Track IR was the other one I was having a look at that I very nearly bought. But I haven't looked back since I've had it. It's not perfect. It does tend to drift a little bit now and again, especially when you don't want it to. But you can put a hotkey on to switch it on and off. So it doesn't cause much trouble in that regard. So is the Tobii Eye Tracker expensive? Unfortunately, yes, it is. Well, I think it's obviously the price of eye tracker, or the price of head trackers, varies enormously. But the Tobii one it's not the cheapest. Let's put it that way. It's towards the more expensive end of the available eye trackers that you can get, or head trackers. Okay, so in a couple of minutes we will arrive at the Old Republic airfield. So these archery roads through the middle of Long Island are, they get snarled up, do they? I guess the closest I can get to that is the M25 around London. We went to pick my daughters up from the airfield earlier, and it took twice as long as it should have, because the traffic was snarled up, and the bizarre thing was the traffic suddenly freed up, which made you wonder why was it so snarled up anyway. Okay, we can see the Republic airfield out in front of us now. So let's go and have a quick look at the runways. If we go runway 32, so if I go and cut across to the left, and then we can pull it in over the edge of the airfield. There's a ball field down there, look, baseball field. This simulator is insane, isn't it? Just being able to look outside. Whoops. Had a glitch with the controls then. When it stuttered, it pulled the throttle back to 0.
$500.
It's a huge airfield, isn't it? So, someone was just saying about me not seeing many aeroplanes around. I'm going to go and turn the... There are aeroplanes around, I'm just not near them, that's all. Okay, so we are within a shouting distance now of Manhattan. So I thought we might fly down to Manhattan before we go up the other side of the island. So I've just put the autopilot back on. And we'll go for heading mode. Just get it to continue on the heading it's on. So we actually want about 283 degrees. Or 285-ish. It's on heading mode, it's on altitude hold at 1,000 feet. So while we trudge over towards Manhattan, I'm going to go and make a quick coffee. So what I'm going to do on the way is take us up to 2,000 feet. 2,500 actually might be a bit better idea. Should we do that again? Arm that, and then tell it to go up at 500 feet a minute. That'll do. Right, I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. appear to have a formation fly alongside us. And we can see Manhattan right in front of us. So someone's asking about the trees. If we go and have a look, they do appear to be, although they're clumped up in places. That's a view and a half, isn't it? How are we doing on fuel, by the way? So we've got about half a tank. So there's LaGuardia. I love doing the expressway approach into LaGuardia. It's great fun. Should bring this down a little bit then, so let's go down to 1,500 feet. Yeah, I know. Vinyl Rabbit's just commented about the. I've gone beyond the end of the scenery, of the new scenery. So, but I'm going to go back up the other side of the estuary in a bit. So we were having a little look at Long Island, and then we'll carry on up past New Haven and up along the North Shore. But I just want to go and have a little look around Manhattan first. I'll turn the head tracking off while I drink my coffee. Otherwise it's going to drive everybody balmy. How many people are around? Not that many. So we'll just do a quick circle of the city and then we'll get on with our trip.
Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead. Pull up. Obstacle ahead. Pull up. Obstacle ahead.
I guess we ought to go and do a circle of the Statue of Liberty while we're here.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Obstacle ahead. Pull up. Obstacle ahead. Pull up. Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead.
I haven't muted the mic, I'm just looking out the window and looking where I'm going rather than reading the live stream comments. Okay, so what sort of heading do we want to be doing to get back? 45 degrees over to Westchester County. So let's go and dial that in. Drop down to 1,500 feet again, now we're away from the city. So you can see it on the map there. We could do a direct to, couldn't we? And it would give us the line. And then do nav mode. We don't have to worry about it anymore. Okay, so what we're going to do is go up the other side of Long Island Sound. Airport hopping as we go again. So on our way to Westchester County at the moment. Just nearly halfway there. Shouldn't take too long. I'm going to have a coffee. So about 4 minutes, well 4.5 minutes until we get to the next waypoint. How's the engine doing? Manifold pressure's fine, RPM is fine, temperatures and pressures are fine. Interestingly, the HSI had drifted slightly. Just reading the comments there about people mistaking the flight sim for the real world. It is amazing, isn't it? How it is getting closer and closer. So Swim and Climb is saying the 182RG is a little beauty of an aircraft. I got it and I love flying it. So do I. I often forget just how good it is. It's funny, I was talking to my other half this afternoon about possibly doing a series of videos circumnavigating the globe. And I might, if I do it, I may well use the 182 to do it. And chop it into, you know, a couple of hour sessions to circumnavigate the globe, basically. Obviously there are parts of the route that you wouldn't be able to do unless you simulate doing a I forgot what they called them, the transfer flights over water, where they put bladders full of fuel inside the aeroplane. If you want some historic airfields, what you'll actually get is fields. There's a... Oh, now I'm going to get the name of this wrong. There's a postal service add-on, isn't there? The author of it actually gave me a copy of it. I think it's on FlightSim.2, where he's put grass airfields in place to simulate the postal routes from the 1920s, where you have sheds on the ground with concrete arrows pointing towards the next airfield, or sorry, the next mast, and there's like navigation masts along the way. Ferry flights, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Wings Over America, that's the one. It's great fun. I did some of the Wings Over America flights with the Boeing 247 in the sim because it's the appropriate aircraft of the era to do it with. It was great fun. Okay, we should be getting closer. And we are. And there's the airfield right in front of us. So let's turn, get rid of some speed. See the indicated airspeed falling off a cliff here. Drop the gear, which will obviously put some more drag in. And we're within flaps range already. I wonder what this building is down here. Yeah, I think to do the ferry flights, you'd have to just simulate it and
500.
Put the ballast in the aeroplane and then trade it off as you go with refilling the fuel tank and removing the ballast. Does that make sense? Okay, we are now en route to Igor Sikorsky Memorial. So I'm just reading the notes there. So someone's saying they prefer the old steam gauges to the glass cockpits. So do I. Although I'm fascinated with the bigger jets like the 777 that's just come out. With the way the systems work. As you'll see today, I'm using the TDS GTN 750 though, which is a huge cheat really. And you'll have often seen me in old videos using the most basic radio kit that I can find. Which we could in this, we could get rid of this and just have the basic radio. If you've never seen this 182RG before, you can do all sorts of tricks like that. It might not let me switch this off once it's on though. Let's have a look. Once activated, it is not possible to deactivate in flight. Okay, yeah. I thought that might be the case. Because this is such a significant change to the aircraft, they don't allow you to switch it back off once you switched it on. Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes. I'm going to drink my coffee. I'll put it on the outside for you for a few minutes. Just downed my coffee. Of course, the other thing about these smaller aeroplanes, in reality, if you wanted to simulate what this is really like, you would scoot yourself forwards a bit, and yeah, that's about your field of view. And they really are that cramped that you'd have to look down underneath to look at the gauges if you're fairly tall. And yeah, this is about right. I have been in planes like this, and they're not. It's not like sitting in your living room or in a big jet or whatever. The dials are at a bent arm distance in front of you. The yoke is in your lap. And if you have somebody sat in the plane with you, you are shoulder to shoulder with them. You have to be, you have to get over yourself if you don't like close proximity to people. So Chattanooga says the BAE 146 from Just Flight is about that old-fashioned no-glass cockpit, wonderful aircraft. Yeah, I love it. It's fantastic fun. Swim and Glime says, I have the 777 now and learning it. It's a little too automated on landing. I feel better in the 737 or even the Dreamliner. To be honest, I've only landed this 777 on manual. As soon as I get lined up on the ILS, I switch the autopilot off and land it myself. But that's just force of habit with me, that unless I can't see the runway, or unless the conditions are awful, I will typically fly down to minimums by hand. How am I toggling full screen to LittleNav? I'm pressing Alt and Tab on the keyboard. It's a Windows function. It's nothing to do with the simulator. So I hold the Alt key down, press Tab, and if I keep pressing Tab, it will flick between the programs that are running. So I can then release Alt, and it shows whatever's on the screen at the time. So at the moment, they've got Navigraph there, look, and it's not centered on me. I'm up here. We're heading towards Stratford, or Igor Sikorsky. If I hold Alt down and press Tab a few more times, I can go back to LittleNavMap. It does remember the next, if you do Alt Tab once, it will go to the previous thing that had the focus, so I can do it really quickly. Yeah, between LittleNavMap and Flight Sim. I wonder what that switch does. I'm not going to find out right now. Is it just a light? Yeah, it's just a light. Is there one on the other side? No, they've just got red lights, so they were controlled by the illumination down here. Interesting. Is there anything else that's hidden around the aeroplane? Okay, we're getting there. We're 3.5 minutes out from Igor Sikorsky Memorial. Yeah, the material modelling of the Coronado aircraft is always photorealistic. They are wonderful. Really, really wonderful. Even the floor. Even the certificate down here, you'll be able to read it if you get close enough to it. It's amazing, isn't it? Really, really amazing. And the wear and tear that's modelled, the creases and the folds and the bits of rust and the patina on some of the metal. It's very, very good. Okay, let's go, and on our way over towards the airfield, we'll have a flight and look at the town along the way. Yeah, so the north side of the Long Island Sound looks like it's had photogrammetry as well. Okay. So the airfield we're approaching is Igor Sikorsky Memorial. Got hardly any wind, so we can pretty much pick a runway. We'll circle the airfield and have a look at it first. Some sort of depot down here. So if I do left pattern in on the runway, we can see here. So I want to be dropping to 500 feet really, don't I?
$500.
It's a massive control tower, isn't it? Do you think they did a job lot with the concrete and they had loads left over, so they had added a few stories maybe? Am I on Volanta? I'm not running it. I can run it. Where are we? Add-ons. Volanta. Has anybody seen the new party mode on Volanta, by the way. So Volanta very kindly gifted me a... oh, hang on, where are we? Not Long Island, over here somewhere. Going along the north edge. What's that? Your active flight. I need to change the name of it, won't I? Flights. Cancel flight. Yes. Here we go. What should I call myself? JB123. I'm just going to go and turn off some of the layers. Okay, so there's me. So there's this new thing in Volanta, if you've not seen it. Oh look, we got some friend requests in here. If anyone's running Volanta, I'm probably John Beckett in here as well. I seem to be everywhere, I think. Oh, what have we done? I've gone and clicked on somebody else now. Your active flight. There I was. So you can see me in 3D over here. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked again. So if I open... I can create a party in here and I can invite people into it. And then once you've got party mode running, you get a live chat window in Volanta, but even more interestingly, you can draw on the map. So I can say, if I wanted to tell people that we're going to go this way, please. And you know, you can do whatever you want to do with that about drawing map. But where it gets interesting is we'll just draw some random things on the map. So we might want to illustrate, you know, a line that we're going to stay within or whatever. Where it gets interesting is then that's all in 3D, and everyone else in the party can see that on their map live in Volanta as well. You can also press Shift Z, or is it Control Z to undo it? I can't remember now. Control Shift Z. But yeah, so it's quite cool, isn't it? And then you can obviously type amongst the group. So where I thought it might come in handy is for ATC purposes. Anyway, so I will be doing a video all about this and trying to get a group together to behave somewhat sensibly, maybe do an ATC session or something, and we'll show party mode in action with drawing on here. The one thing that's missing, and I think might kill it until they have these features, at the moment you can only draw by freehand. If this had the option of also drawing lines and circles and text, it would be brilliant, but it doesn't have it yet. Anyway, next airport to have a look at. Let's just turn so we can have a look at the airfield. So this is New Haven. And there is an aircraft just departing by the look of it. So we'll stay out of his way. Rather sharp pull up. Well, we're probably seeing it as a different aircraft than it actually is. So it should have been an F-86. But even so, he really was. He rotated very steeply, didn't he? Yeah, look at the quality of this photogrammetry. It looks real, doesn't it? look at the quality of this with the church and the street with the houses. It's amazing, isn't it? I don't know, I'm easily impressed, and I always say things look great in the sim, but this really does. I think, yes, I think this has also been part of the, I'm reading the comments in the live stream chat and not preceding my sentence of what I'm talking about. Someone's asking, is this part of the new update? I think it is. So I think it's not just Long Island, it's all of the this whole area. So north of Long Island Sound as well, because I'm just flying along the North Shore. You can see all the houses are photogrammetry, and they're really high resolution photogrammetry. Okay, we need to
500.
focus on this. Okay, so this is the last leg for today, unless we want to carry on further up the coast. We could go back over to Montauc, I guess, to where we started from. That'd be a bit of a boring leg across the water, but this is quite a long one though, along the shore here. So it's going to be a bit of a sightseeing leg. So let's go and put this on nav mode. It's climbing out to 1,000 feet on its own. You can have a look out the window now. Just going to keep an eye on that. It's doing quite a sharp line-up, isn't it? Boatyard down there. Very cool. Okay, so we're doing about 140 knots, similar to last time. So I've got the manifold pressure is all good, RPM is good. got about just under half a tank of fuel left. It's going to be about 13 minutes until we get to the final airfield. So let's go and have a look on the map, see where that is. So we are just going along here towards Groton, New London. That's probably not how you pronounce it. Groton, not sure. Groton, who knows? Hopefully we'll get somebody that knows the area that can tell us. Should we have a play with, are there any VORs around that we could use sensibly? So the Groton VOR is 11085. Doesn't tell you what the range is on these charts, does it? 11085. So let's go and do it. We'll just put this on heading mode first. Get rid of that message so it doesn't annoy the heck out of us. Oh, go away. Have I hit a bug with this? I think I have, haven't I? AHRS roll angle. Okay, we're not worried about that. Sorry, I was going to go and tune in the VOR, wasn't I? 11085. So we want to go and take the CDI back to VLOC. We know we're going more or less straight towards it. Oh, that's nav2, isn't it? Do we actually have a nav2 instrument? We'll have to do it up here. I always forget this in this aeroplane. Standby 11085 transfer. And this should come to life. Famous last words. Or let's have a look though. Because the LittleNavMap, one of the nice things it can do is tell you it's only a 38-mile range, and we are we're not probably 38 miles away. Maybe we're just not high enough to see it. Although it has picked up the identity there, but that'll be its own database. That is the Groton VOR, but it hasn't come up on the HSI. Unless it's just because we are on the line so tightly that it's showing us in the middle. Let's try a different one of a similar range. So what about the Norwich VOR, 110.1? Oh, it had just come alive, by the way, while I was talking there. There we go, look, it's working. So we can go, obviously go nav mode, and it should track the VOR. Yeah, we're almost on top of it, so it's not going to react too strongly. What's that altitude? That seems a little bit lower than 1,000 feet, but maybe the ground level here rises up from the ocean over there. Or from Long Island Sound, I should say. Maybe it is a little bit higher than sea level. Yeah, this is the TDS GTN 750XI. It's a payware add-on. It's actually, it's not really, well, it is an add-on for the sim and it isn't. the genesis of this piece of kit is the Garmin simulator, but they have done integration work on it to make it work with Flight Simulator and with the Navigraph data. So what you're seeing is a replica, an exact replica of a real-world Garmin unit, or it is the Garmin simulation of the Garmin unit. Which is why it's got all sorts of things on it that you don't typically get. You know, like the mapping data and the rendering is completely different. And the options you get to program things in it are enormously different. Anyway, it is quite expensive. They, again, because of the YouTube channel, the guys that make this wanted me to show it to people, so I got a copy of it for nothing. But I know several people who've got real aeroplanes who have got the real unit in their aeroplane, and they've gone and bought this because it keeps them current on using it, because it is identical. You know, all of the functions in it are identical. So it you know, helps them with staying up to date in their skills with navigating around its screens and programming it properly. But I used to use the PMS one all the time, and to be honest, for just flying around, the PMS one's fine as well. I'm a bit of everybody knows that watches the channel, I really like the old stuff, so I actually love using the old GNS 530 in the aircraft, and even beyond that, just flying aeroplanes without any GPS and just relying on maps and VOR frequencies, which I've done several times in demonstrations in the past. Okay, so we've got about 6 minutes to go until we get to Groton, and then we'll go over the water back to Montauc, I guess. Let's have a look at the map, actually. Where could we go that would make sense? We could go over to Martha's Vineyard and go and visit Amity or Edgartown. Go and visit the lagoon where Jaws came here. That's actually marked as Jaws Bridge now. That's quite a long way out though, isn't it, to go over to Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, so for those that don't know, the movie Jaws was filmed at Martha's Vineyard. So Amity, the small town in the movie, is Edgartown on Martha's Vineyard, and the lagoon that the shark swims into and terrorizes the kids on their swimming lesson was this lagoon, and the bridge the bridge that the shark swam under was this bridge, which is why it's called Jaws Bridge now, and you get people lining up there to shout to shout and scream shark at the top of their voice. And if you remember in the movie, there's a ferry that takes them over to the island, and that's the ferry across there from Edgartown over to Chappaquiddick Point. So there you go. Chief Brody. Yeah, of course, Chappaquiddick's always also famous, I should say, for the car accident and the Kennedys, isn't it? Okay, we're getting there. Did I put this on nav mode? No, it's not, look. So if we go and put ourselves on an intercept course with heading mode, we got off to the right of our track. We're nearly there. Boat charging along down here. I've got the seafront simulations add-on installed. I'm not sure if that's what's putting the boats in or not. Okay, how far have we got left to go? Just over 5 miles and counting down. Should we go manual? So you can see the airfield out in front of us now. You can see the directions of the runways superimposed on the map. So if we go out over the water and come in from that side, so I'm just getting rid of a little bit of airspeed. Yeah, I think we may have gone out of the range of the photogrammetry. These look like AI buildings. I might be wrong.
$500.
Yeah, these are stock AI buildings. They're not photogrammetry anymore. So, Fisher's Island. Should we go there to finish up? That looks like a good place to go, doesn't it? Go and have a nosy around at the beach before we get there. Yeah, this is just generic AI again, isn't it? So maybe we do take the trip back to go and see some more photogrammetry. If we go back to, we'll overfly Fisher's Island. Okay, so we're flying to 30 degrees. That will take us back. Yeah, so if we go to the Hamptons, that will be a good place to return to, wouldn't it? So if we go measure distance, going the right sort of direction, maybe a few degrees to the left. We're on heading mode. Let's just align the CDI, oops, HSI even, needle with the direction we want to go. I don't think there's any beacons over there, are there? Let's have a look. There's no non... Oh, there's this one though, 113.60. 11360. Transfer. There we go. And it gives us the... Oh, it doesn't give us the... Oh, is this it? I think this is just the GPS, isn't it? Yeah, it's doing the GPS range, not giving us the DME. Oh well. We could do a direct to, I suppose, to KJPX and then ignore the rest of the flight plan. And then this will count down appropriately. Then if we change to GPS mode and go nav, and it will fly us directly there. Okay, so this island we're about to pass over is Gardiner's Island, which has a grass airstrip on it actually. But yeah, the reason I'm so keen to go back towards Hamptons is because they are specifically mentioned as, you know, having the treatment. And when we flew over them earlier, it did look quite impressive. So it shouldn't take too long. 5 minutes to get there. And then we'll land for the final time today. So yeah, Chattanooga's saying DME depends on if it's DME ready, but I'm not sure that the more modern kit will read DME from nav radios, and the 182 RG that's modelled in the sim doesn't have a distance measuring equipment unit on board. So, you know, if you go to a full analog instrument cockpit, it doesn't have it. So obviously you could play games with triangulation if you want to. So you could pick a couple of different VOR stations. There's one over here, for example, which would give you a good reading for an angle. What's the range on that one? 60 miles. So you could probably get away with that if you've got enough altitude to do it. So measure distance from here to here, and it's 30 miles. So yeah, that would easily be within range. So I'm presuming, is this nav 2 then? So what you could do, can you tune nav 2 in this unit? Maybe not. Oh, this is nav 2, isn't it? So if we put in 11040 on nav 2, and there we go. So we know it's about. No, we would want the angle from it to us, wouldn't we? There we go. So then you can obviously draw the 135 line degree out of here. If you're doing it, there we go, look, it's exactly on us, which you would expect. So you can triangulate to figure out how far away you are on a paper chart. I have done videos a long time ago doing the whole triangulation game with the aircraft tracking switched off and then using the user points to add markers. So just doing that kind of thing along the route so we knew where we were, and just typing the time into the markers as we go. You know, so you know at a given time exactly where you were, and then you can play games with calculating all sorts of things. So if your airspeed failed, for example, but your nav radios were still working, you could figure out what speed you're travelling at as long as you know the time you were at particular places. It's a lot of hard work, but it's doable. Whereas in a modern cockpit, we can just see a picture, which is much more easy. So yeah, just have a look at some of this scenery. What we'll do on the approach, we'll go over to the coast and then come back to the airfield. So I want to go a bit lower altitude, so we're going to drop to 1,000 feet. So we can see some of this upgraded scenery, because it really is very impressive. Yeah, you can see the difference, look. Just the barns and the sheds and the houses. I'll go and fly around over the houses over here first before we come in and land, just so you get to see it. Well, actually, over the coast here would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, you can see the difference. Okay, let's go and bring this in to land. So we're going to circle the airfield. Yeah, you can see it there, look. Look how much better that looks than normal. Excuse me. Hey, we're just coming down into flaps range on the speed. First stage. bit high. We can deal with that though, it's not a problem.
$500.
As you can see, I'm just side slipping it in to lose the altitude quickly. Whoa! 1 foot off the ground with a stall warning. Bit of a barnstormer landing that time. Not exactly following proper procedures at all. Okay. Whoops, just the magnetos. Turn everything back off that we turned on. There's not a lot to turn off in this aeroplane, to be honest. The doors do work, I think. There we go. And we have someone else that's coming with us. Very cool. Let some fresh air in. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that this evening. That was the Coronado Cessna 182RG in Flight Simulator. And we flew around the new update that's available for free in the marketplace for the eastern seaboard of the US, which includes photogrammetry of a huge swathe of Long Island. So yeah, it was good fun. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and I will see you all very soon. Okay, take care, bye.